in the midst of the four beasts. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him.
They call me a god. 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 Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the.
Hello, folks. Richard Moore, USAGSA. And this segment is going to be entitled Love, Bomb, and Vanish. So you may want to just kind of sit back and maybe take some notes, at least mental notes of what I'm going to discuss. And hopefully it's going to hit anybody that is on social media anywhere should have an idea of what this is, but maybe it hasn't been properly articulated, and how this tactic is part of the weaponization of the corrupt deep state and the orgasmic community policing that targets and destroys, annihilates in excess of 4 million Americans annually. Okay? That is a very conservative figure. We're talking about millions of innocent Americans that have been denied any type of due process, that has been accused of somebody pointing the finger at them for something they didn't like or didn't agree with, or someone that has been caught up in a system of fraudulent accusations, wrongful convictions, and propped up by a community of pathetic criminals. Folks, they want to stop this exposure at all costs. They absolutely hate free speech when it comes to victims and those that are exposing these criminals. I'm speaking on this because I have firsthand knowledge of what goes on behind the scenes and the constant legal issues and battles that we have to contend with and counter as these individuals attempt to derail USAGSA. No expense will be spared in countering these tyrants on every level. You can rest assured. We're able to do this because of our supporters, obviously. In the description of this video will be our link tree. There's various ways you can support USAGSA, including becoming a patron on Patreon or a paid subscriber on Substack. Check that out. I've written extensively about these people and the programs and their tactics and so forth. So, this love and love, bomb, and vanish, folks, is this is a tactic. Okay, of course, this is indicative to narcissism, especially malignant narcissists. But in community-oriented policing, that's one of the common threads that run through these people that have no moral compass. Of course, anything I say about them, they're going to be the very ones to try to pretend they have a moral compass. You can't have a moral anything unless God is in your life, and that is the gravitational pull of that. But without God, there is no such thing as a moral compass. You've got a compass, but it ain't anything to do with a moral compass. But it's just words for these people. These people that absolutely are convinced in their minds and body and soul that what they're doing is right and just, and God okays it, and all that. You need to understand that. you don't really need to understand anything past that. How much time do you really want to spend trying to get into the mind of a fool? I don't. I just make it a statement of facts. And that's a fact. And I don't care, nor should you, want to try to understand the enemy. Okay? I understand the enemy, that's the enemy. Okay? And the way you fight this is by exposure, light, truth. That's how that works. So with the love bombing, and I've experienced all this, and countless of you the same thing. And the definition of love bombing is over the top praise and admiration to gain trust or emotional control. What's the purpose of the love bombing? To create emotional dependency or confusion. So when you get this continuous praise, and they're on every post you make, and I mean, they just can't, you post it and they're the first ones on it. On everything, love everything, agree everything you say or do. I mean, you're more popular than Jesus Christ. Of course, they don't really believe it in Jesus Christ, but you get the drift. When this happens, folks, you need to understand, buyer beware. Because I can promise you, I intentionally, in part, and mostly in nature, in part, that if there's two people that are agreeing on every single thing together, if one of them is in the damn way, okay? In other words, you can't, iron sharpens iron. And folks, nobody, and it's not natural to have a 100% yes man. Something's wrong with that picture always. And so when a person's in there, no matter what I say or do, they're all in. And then they vanish. And see, psychologically, that affects the person that's getting bombed to death by 1,000 paper cuts. And this is obviously one of the very common traits in narcissistic abuse, cults, and gang stalking, which is all basically the same thing. Community-oriented policing, or as I refer to, orgasmic policing. They work up to a fidgety, foaming froth to get out there and to spread their misery on other people. And that's, of course, how evil at its core exists. It's evil feeds on evil. They hate anything that's good. Or they know the words for things that are good, but they have no idea what good is. What did God say about good? He said nothing is good except him. Nothing. So if you don't understand him and you know him personally, then you ain't got a clue what good is. And this is what they're grappling at and trying to destroy, and they can't. So these are how these minions of stupidity are targeting those that actually know God and are doing whatever that is good. Another tactic, a name for this tactic, is hovering and ghosting. And that's reeling in a target with attention and then vanishing without explanation. The purpose is emotional destabilization, control, or testing boundaries. They want to see how deep and how far they can go and dig their way into the psyche of the target. And so many fall into it. Trauma baiting. And that's excessive support or empathy to draw out vulnerability and then withdrawal. The purpose is exploiting personal information or emotional weakness. Why they do it, what the purpose is. The next one is sock puppeting. And I know some individuals that look just like a damn sock puppet out here on this quest of bullshit. And these sock puppets, listen close, using a fake or alternate account to flatter, spy, or manipulate. Fake names. The first fake name of prominence that comes to mind is Midge Mathis with Targeted Justice. That's fake as damn plastic, folks. Her real name is Doris Claus. About that fake Midge Mathis posting pictures of how she got microwaved with her face all burnt up. It's simply the side effects of having a vanity chemical pill. But they're shoving that horse shit down real victims' minds and running them down rabbit holes and chasing nanobots and chemtrails and are on their way to a slow and painful and sure death. You can believe that destruction. The purpose of these sock puppets is to observe reactions and create false trust or deceive. Hold on, what's what I'm saying, folks? And that's very common, of course, in online stalking, organized harassment. There's the real shield. Not to be confused with thrill, but we could rewrite the song. And still the thrill is gone, the shield is gone. Stalker grooming is a tactic in the initial phase of stalking disguised as kindness or admiration. The purpose is to cause confusion, insecurity, and emotional exhaustion. Imagine that. It's very common in gang stalking, of course, psychological operations. I've made some more notes, and I want to make sure that we get this stuff across. And we've talked about love bombing, what it is, hovering, followed by ghosting. Okay, all this stuff is, we get this ghosting part, okay? And folks, I get it all the time. It sometimes you can roughly, rattle their case long enough, they'll come back with some bullshit nonsense. But that's just part of the tactic. You say, well, how could I thought this? Let me tell you what, folks. When you become an actual victim of this diabolical scheme, it's not a matter of you don't trust anyone or trust anything because that's what they want you to do. Not even yourself. They want you to question your own thoughts and what you're seeing. And this is by being gaslighted 1,000 different ways by these ass clowns that used to clog up the bingo parlors and Masonic and Eastern Star meetings or some kind of other cult. Now they have mainstreamed themselves into the gonorrhea of the deep state. Noise campaigns, like we're getting right now. So I've got a munchkin out there, about 4 foot tall, and got a beard about that long. That obviously thinks that he's just completely 10 foot tall and bulletproof or something like that. He didn't realize that some people are just not down with that, and subject to whooping his ass at any minute. And we talked about the trauma baiting, sock puppeting, a fake identity is used. Remember who the sock puppet is, that's been microwaved. You know, it's stalker grooming behavior. And your CIA catchphrase playbook for this whole deal, folks, it's called love and withdrawal. Love and withdrawal. And that's used to destabilize targets by creating false emotional highs, then cutting them off. If that's been done to me one time, it's been done 1,000 times. The difference between me and other people is I might have gotten that emotional high once, but you know what? The other 10,000 times, it was just bullshit. Okay, it doesn't take, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not going for that. You see, the individual that is targeted and isolated, all these things are going, they want to create and funnel them into wanting a validation, wanting affection, wanting all these things. And my friend, let me tell you, all the things that in your soul that you want, God is the only one that's going to be able to satisfy that. Anything outside of that, chances are you're chasing the devil and his tricks and his lies. Hence, you are sealing your fate on being on your way to demise and destruction, and that is what the plan is. They do all this to circumvent the laws of this country because millions are falling into these schemes. So maybe with what I've said here, that's helped some of you understand just one of the elements, just one, of the back room of the deep state, a community-oriented policing. Forget the whitewash, forget the window dressing, forget what they say. It sounds good. Well, safe for kids, protect for children, all this stuff. Keep the elderly from getting raped, all that kind of stuff. The devil always knows or thinks he knows what man wants to hear. But somebody else said, my sheep will know my voice. Let me tell you, folks, if what you're seeing and what's going on in your life is got you scratching your head or confused, you can rest assured that it ain't from him. There's nothing about God and his purpose confusing. But there is the liar, the author of confusion, and that's the devil himself. And just because these people are not running down to a satanic temple, but however, they're at the first church, the chosen frozen, and even deacons, it's the same difference. Fake Christians going to fake churches, serving a fake God. That's the bottom line with that. So, folks, that's it on love and vanish. Their tactics. Be alert, be vigilant, but don't fall for it. And if you do fall for it, and you ride along for the ride, I wouldn't recommend you doing that. I'm going to tell you, you're going to, these rides will do more than you want them to do. Take you further than you want to go, and they'll keep you longer than you want to stay. Quit taking the ride. Recognize the tactics. Expose the tactics. Refuse to fall for it. By doing this and taking a stand, you are doing your part at somehow seeing justice come, real justice, to these people and this collective association of American citizens creating a safer homeland. In reality, this is the malignant cancer of America that must be extracted, exposed, and eliminated. Until next time, God bless you.
They call me a god. 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 Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession.